Your salary went up last year, and somehow you're more financially stressed than before. That's not bad luck. There's a 100-year-old law that predicts almost exactly how much of that raise actually stuck. And it wasn't written by an economist. It was written by a historian about something that has nothing to do with money. Every raise you've ever gotten has quietly vanished into a slightly more expensive life. Not because you're careless, because of a rule you've never been told is running. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that rule is, why it hits high earners hardest, and the one move that shuts it down before it starts. Two colleagues, same company, same title, same raise, $20,000 a year effective January 1st. By the following December, Sarah has $16,000 more invested than she did 12 months ago. James has a nicer apartment, a newer car, and is genuinely more stressed than he was before the raise. Same number, opposite outcomes. Here's the name for what happened to James. Cyril Northcote Parkinson discovered it in 1955, studying government bureaucracies. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. The financial version is identical. Spending expands to fill the income available, automatically, invisibly, without a single conscious decision. James didn't do anything reckless, he just didn't do anything at all. And that's exactly how Parkinson's law wins. The difference between Sarah and James isn't discipline, it's a decision made, or not made, in the first few days after the raise was confirmed. Sarah had a rule, James didn't. The moment a raise lands, it creates a window. For a brief period, the new income feels like surplus. The lifestyle hasn't caught up yet. That window is the only moment you can intercept Parkinson's law before it runs. Miss it, and the law does what it always does. The apartment gets slightly bigger. The restaurant tier shifts. The subscriptions accumulate. Each choice is individually reasonable. Together, they consume the raise without a single decision you'd recognize as a mistake. By the time you notice, the new spending level feels permanent, and it is. The raise isn't the problem. Those first few days are where the decision happens. Here's the rule. The defense against Parkinson's law is called the 20-80 rule, and it's not about deprivation, it's about capture speed. Every raise gets split before you touch it. Maximum 20% goes to lifestyle. The rest, 80%, moves automatically to investments before the new number starts to feel normal. That's it. Two numbers, one decision, made in the window. $20,000 raise, $4,000 goes to lifestyle. You can upgrade something, genuinely guilt-free. $16,000 goes directly to your investment account as an increased automatic transfer, starting next payday. The decision is made before the psychology arrives. Here's what it looks like in practice. The day the raise is confirmed, not the day it first appears in a paycheck, the day it's confirmed, Sarah logs into her bank and increases her automatic investment transfer by $1,333 a month. That's the $16,000 divided by 12. She does this before she spent a single dollar of the new number. The remaining $333 a month she genuinely enjoys, a nicer gym, better coffee, whatever upgrade she wants. No guilt because it was already decided. James, meanwhile, does nothing on day one. He tells himself he'll figure out a plan once the raise actually shows up in his account. By the time it does, the money already feels like his to spend, because psychologically, it is. There was never a fork in the road for James. There was just drift. Here is the compounding case for why this matters. $1,000 a month in additional investments at 7% annually becomes $1,200,000 over 30 years. That is the value sitting inside a single raise handled correctly. Most people spend it instead, not on one dramatic purchase, but on the accumulated drift of a slightly more expensive life. Every raise is a fork in the road. Most people don't realize they're making a choice. The 20-80 rule works because it respects the psychology without surrendering to it. You get the upgrade, the lifestyle improves, and the majority of the raise moves somewhere it can compound before your brain recalibrates to the new number as normal. You're not restricting the raise, you're deciding which version of your future gets to keep it.
Parkinson's law doesn't only strike during raises.
It operates constantly, in smaller increments. The subscription you've forgotten, the service tier that quietly moved up, the spending category that drifted higher over 3 years without a single moment you'd call a decision. Which is why, once a year, the same week you file your taxes, you run a lifestyle audit. List every recurring expense you have today that you didn't have 3 years ago. Every subscription, every upgraded tier, every commitment that appeared quietly after an income increase. For each one, ask one question. Does this bring genuine value, or did I adopt it because the income made it possible? That second category is pure Parkinson's law, and removing it doesn't feel like sacrifice. It feels like clearing space, because most of it was never really chosen. It was inherited from the salary. Your lifestyle should be designed, not inherited from your income. The salary lie is this: earning more automatically makes you better off. It doesn't, not without a rule, not without a system that moves faster than the drift. The 20/80 rule, the first day's window, the annual audit. 3 moves, and Parkinson's law loses its leverage entirely. The next time a raise lands, the first few days are the most financially important decision you'll make that year. Treat them that way. Subscribe. Every week, we break down the systems that quietly run your financial life. Stop surviving. Start building. I'll see you in the next one.